Did California have slavery?
California was a free state when it was admitted to the Union in 1850, meaning that slavery was illegal there. However, there were some instances of slavery and forced labor in California before and after statehood, particularly in relation to Native Americans who were kidnapped or forced into servitude. Additionally, some Southern slaveholders brought enslaved people with them when they moved to California during the Gold Rush. Although technically illegal, these enslaved individuals were often not prosecuted, and the California State Supreme Court even ruled in 1852 that slaveholders had the right to bring their slaves to California. However, the number of enslaved people in California was relatively small compared to states like Virginia or Alabama.
What was the case called for the California State Supreme Court?
The case is called People v. Hall, 1854, and it involved the murder of a Chinese man by a white man in California. The defendant argued that he couldn't be convicted of murder because under California law, a Chinese person couldn't testify against a white person in court. The California Supreme Court upheld this argument, effectively denying Chinese people the right to testify in court against white people. This decision was based on the court's interpretation of the California Constitution, which excluded non-whites from testifying in court.
That doesn't say slave owners have right to bring slaves here.
You are correct. The decision did not explicitly state that slave owners had a right to bring slaves to California, but it did suggest that they did not have the right to own slaves in the state. The court ruled that because California was a free state, any person who was brought into the state as a slave automatically became free. This decision was a blow to Southern slaveholders who had brought their slaves to California during the Gold Rush.